we're up to. Ade Oladipo very kindly has joined us for this particular section of the show, as has Spencer Oliver. And we're talking all things AJ. Ade, you did voice a fantastic piece there, telling that fantastic story. And we kind of forget the story, don't we?
Yeah.
We've only been in this game professionally for 10 years. I say professionally 10 years because he was winning an Olympic gold medal in the amateurs 10 years ago. In that period of time, he's fought the who's who. He's become a 2-time heavyweight champion, and on Saturday he could become a 3-time heavyweight champion. Does AJ get the respect he deserves from the fans?
No, not at all. Not at all. I still think people, have compared him to Frank Bruno. I mean, you heard things like AJ's a bit stiff and too muscle-bound. You have to remember, he fought Vladimir Klitschko in his 19th fight. Sold out Wembley Stadium in his 19th fight. I mean, you speak to boxers and they'll tell you, everyone's price went up when AJ came into boxing. And sponsorships came in, everyone's price for fights came in. AJ has literally carried British boxing on his back for many years and lifted up everyone with it. Look, some people will say he's not had the Wilder fight, the Fury fights, and that's true. For whatever reason, those fights haven't happened. But give him respect. The Roadman fight against Dillian White at the O2 Arena, Dominic Breazeale, Molina. You have to give him credit. You have to give him credit. And I think we're going to give him even more credit if he can pull off what I think is almost a minor miracle on Saturday.
He's managed to do that, Spence, as well, and you've known him very, very well from his days at Finchley. He's managed to do all that in the hub of this fame, in the hub of all this success, and he's managed to keep himself, and people might not know this because they don't know too much about him, he's managed to keep himself incredibly grounded because he does obviously still connect very, very closely with the community that he was with 10, 12 years ago.
Mate, he's so grounded. People don't see that side of Anthony Joshua. You're going back like sort of 10, so you're going back 14, 15 years when he first walked into the amateur gym and what he achieved in such a short space of time, winning the ABA title after a year, World Championship silver medal after 2 years, Olympic gold medal. But what he done, AJ, then was he brought boxing back to life, right, because of his story, where he came from, the journey through boxing, how boxing was his saviour, and he gave kids hope, and he still gives kids hope now. Yeah, he goes to, and this is what our listeners will not know, and what people don't know, because he doesn't brag about it. Anthony Joshua does so much for the local communities. He goes to local community centres, he spends time with kids, he donates money to clubs, and I'm saying like lots of money to community centres, boxing gyms.
He's donated a lot of money to Nigeria as well. There's a lot of federations and foundations in Nigeria that AJ's donated millions to.
Absolutely. This guy, honestly, has transformed the sport of boxing from when he come into it, and I think that he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. Look at his resume. Right? Look at what this kid has achieved.
Just before you carry on the professional achievements, I just want to touch upon and carry on what you're just talking about, the things that he does that nobody knows about. Yes, of course, plenty of wealthy athletes do donate money financially and they benefit other people. The thing that I'm impressed with AJ about is the time that he donates. He donates genuinely his time to young people, having conversations with them, going to their place.
Absolutely.
Seeking them out when they're in a little bit of trouble, offering the advice. Because let's be straight, this guy's he's had a life story. Before he got into the game of boxing at 18 years of age, the lad got himself in a little bit of trouble back in the day, and he can offer that advice to these kids.
Guys, can I tell you as well, like, to give you an idea of what he does, you know how close he is with Finchley Amateur Boxing Club. He's still, very much involved with all the kids down there that he was boxing with. He's kept totally grounded. He speaks to them every single day. He speaks to me every day with these guys as well. And I'll tell you what he'd done, to give you an idea of Anthony Joshua and the person. And no one said it. When he boxed Andy Ruiz Jr. in the return in Saudi Arabia, he hired a plane. He took 50 of the kids over to Saudi Arabia, flew them over. Right, so people don't know this. People don't know this stuff.
I didn't know that.
He hoteled them all. He paid for all their food just to go and sit, and he paid for them all to go to the fight. I mean, that's the type of guy. Can you imagine if you was a 14-year-old kid that was at Finchley Boxing Club and you aspire to be Anthony Joshua because he's shown that actually, if you put in the hard work, you can achieve what you want to achieve. 18 years of age, the geezer was drinking, smoking. It was well documented that he had an ASBO against him in Watford, and he thought, I need to change my life. He went down the gym, he found boxing, he loved boxing, and it transformed him, and he thought, I'm going to give kids hope. And that's what he's done. These kids, imagine being 14, and then Anthony Joshua's going, right, you all coming to watch me.
I'm just thinking about the 51st kid that didn't go.
No,
I'm thinking about that kid.
No,
all I can think
no,
not you. You.
There weren't a 51st kid. That's what I'm saying. It's like, look, I don't know the exact number. It was around. Like, he filled the plane. He filled the plane. And what I'm saying is, he doesn't brag about that stuff, right? But people judge him, and you can't judge the guy because you don't know the guy. You haven't gone through the layers. And it's like, you know what I mean? You judge him on getting knocked out by Andy Ruiz, or you judge him on, he's rubbish, he's a robot, he's a Frank Bruno. The guy is like, he's knocking on the door to greatness. If he wins a world title for 3 times.
At the same time, Spence, if we're, let's be fair. If we are knocking on the door to greatness, you have to be scrutinised as well.
Yeah,
every top single athlete, not just in boxing, in football, and MMA, and Adam would tell you, we scrutinise all of them.
Of course.
Yeah. The very, very best. Anderson Silva, when he started to get knocked out 1 second, you're not the GOAT anymore. John Jones, everyone
absolutely.
gets scrutinised. So I think it's all fair in game sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, you can only judge someone from their era. Yeah? From their era. If Anthony Joshua reverses this loss on Saturday night against Alexander Usyk, right, he's done it with Andy Ruiz. What I'm saying is, if he can reverse this loss and he becomes a 3-time world heavyweight champion, surely all I'm asking for is people to give the guy respect.
Yeah.
Surely that
I thought you were going to
lot.
say, for a second now, I thought you was going to say he's the best of his era if he does this.
No, I can't say that.
No, you can't.
I can't say that.
I wouldn't
because he's not
accept it.
cleaned that era up.
Yeah.
I would never say that.
Yeah.
You can't say that when you've got likes of Tyson Fury around, because Tyson Fury is the standout number 1 in the heavyweight division at the moment. No one ever suggests that. You know, whether I believed he could beat Fury or not, I can't say that, because Fury has achieved. He is the standout number 1.
Yeah.
Right. That's it.
Agreed.
Right. And so until that happens, which it will, by the way, if Usyk comes out, because we'll hear Mr. Fury coming out of retirement very quickly, by the way,
100%.
as we all know that. So what I'm saying is, until if he reverses this loss and him and Fury get it on, then we'll know. But what I'm saying is, he's well on his way back to greatness. You've got to give the man respect for that. Like, you know what I mean? It's not just the journey he's been on; it's what he's done on that journey as well.